Who's the better player right now? Is it Zeke or Saquon?
Saquon, not particularly close. Look, first there's the eyeball test. Saquon is bigger, stronger, faster, more elusive. All those things. Okay. Then there's the reality of the fact that Saquon is going to be age 23 season. He's 2 years younger. Zeke is age 25. Then there's the fact that as a rookie, as a 21-year-old rookie, Saquon Barkley led the league with over 2,000 total yards from scrimmage. He had 11 touchdowns rushing, 4 touchdowns receiving. So over 2,000 yards and 15 touchdowns as a 21-year-old rookie running behind a bad offensive line. Guys, last year he was dinged up. He missed 3 games, and he never really looked fully healthy. Let's just be honest. Do you really think he just regressed? He forgot how to play football his second season, or he was hurt? Now Saquon Barkley, now you compare that to Ezekiel Elliott, who's run behind, even when they've been hurt, a line that went from all-world to above average. He's never run behind even an average line. And yet, total yards from scrimmage has never put up a season as good as Saquon's rookie year. Now, in terms of blocking and all the other things you want a running back to do, yeah, Zeke is more experienced. He was ahead of Saquon. But now this is Saquon's 3rd year. I feel very comfortable predicting that this upcoming season, Saquon Barkley will be much more productive than Ezekiel Elliott because he is a better player. Bigger, faster, stronger, more elusive, and more productive when healthy.
I figured that, but give me Zeke, and I'll tell you why. We asked the question. The question says right now. I'm taking Zeke Elliott, his experience, and what he's done for a franchise. Look, we can talk about the offensive line being good, warranted. We can talk about the players around him, warranted. Saquon is more talented. He has that more raw skill. You can look at a player, to your point, Max, and say, man, that dude can hoop. But does he know how to hoop as much as the next guy when you're talking about this close in comparison? Right now, Zeke is a complete back. Still got to find out what Saquon is. To me, Saquon bounces a little bit too much in between the tackles. He's going to get better. First of all, comparing these two ain't no shade at either one. Both of them are fire, but Zeke has put the work in a little bit longer. Zeke is a little bit more polished at the running back position. It's not as pretty. He doesn't have the footwork and the moves that Saquon has, but what he does is churn yards. What he does is blocks for his quarterback very well, and he creates opportunities for the people around him. Saquon will, Saquon has. But right now, Zeke Elliott is the better running back.
Well, first of all, when you say right now, I don't mean to laugh about it, but Ezekiel Elliott is recovering from the Rona. We don't know what he's going to be this summer in terms of this season, in terms of his conditioning and things of that nature. We assist and hope that he will be well, but we don't. I'm calling it the Rona. I'm calling it the coronavirus. Call it the Rona. You know what I'm saying? He got the Rona. So the bottom line is we got to hope that he recovers and he's going to be 100%. Secondly, I do think that you got to ask the question, which is why I flow with Saquon. What if Saquon was in the backfield with that offensive line with Amari Cooper and obviously C.D. Lamb and these boys? What if he had those kind of requisite weapons available to him as well? Then what would we be saying? So I think those are the kind of things that we got to take into consideration. We got to look at how awful the Giants have been, the coaching changes, the lack of chemistry. You know, the list just goes on. When you look at the Giants, they've been an absolute mess. And Saquon has been the face of the franchise. You got rid of Odell Beckham Jr., so you just put the franchise in the hands of this 2021-year-old Daniel Jones, who's a rookie. You threw him in there instead of starting off the season with him because you wanted to assuage Eli Manning to some degree. All of those things get taken into consideration, not to mention the vast majority of Saquon's career, because he did miss 3 games last year, which means that he only played about 8 or 9 games without Eli Manning as his quarterback in his career. So you look at it from that perspective, everybody knows that Eli Manning was no threat to scramble. He was a stationary target waiting to get popped or go down at the sight of an oncoming rusher. Those are the kind of things that Saquon had to work with, and we're still sitting here talking about him, the manner in which we're talking about him.
Know what else?
I think to some degree that elevates him over Ezekiel Elliott, at least talent-wise. If you want to give Ezekiel Elliott the title, that workhorse that he is, so be it. He got that because of the resume and a more time in the NFL. But Saquon has caught passes at a more prolific level out of the backfield. We know what he could do running the football. We know how strong he is, and we know what kind of load he's had to carry because of who the hell he was forced to play with. That's where Saquon Barkley comes in.
Know what else, Marcus? You're talking about, you changed it to most well-rounded back. But the most well-rounded is not always the best. And this is why I roll my eyes when people say, well, most valuable player is not the best player. Yes, it is. When we say who's the best player, we're saying who has the most value. So who brings you closer to a win? Obviously, Saquon's team's no good, so he can't win it by himself. But whose presence on the field brings you closer to it? And while Ezekiel Elliott's a more well-rounded back, in other words, there are fewer glaring weaknesses. Like everything's a strength for Ezekiel Elliott. Saquon's home run hitting ability, the fact that he can score any time he touches the ball, he's a threat, means that his value, even if every box isn't checked the same way Zeke is, some are checked so boldly that his value is greater.
Max, you're a boxing guru. You understand that, and the style is what you gravitate to more. I get that. I understand that. Barry Sanders, style, the ability to make people miss, different backs, different reasons. We look at this game differently. Zeke, to me, right now is the better back. For what you said, he's more complete. Right now, Saquon has a little ways to go when he becomes a full-fledged, all-out good at everything back. He would even tell you that.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.